Hello and welcome to SkinnyGYM. I'm your host, Bunto Skiffler. Um, Hope you're all having a happy Memorial Day, great weather, good family time. This is episode 04, the epic workout. And as per usual, we'll open up the room to participants after the presentation. Thanks. So what else has been going on besides just the holiday? Eating and just, I didn't go to the gym today because we've been having in Central Texas a lot of rain. And once I heard the rain, I decided to, zen out to the rain. So I skipped the gym, just did like a little home workout and went to hang out, fed mama, and now I'm ready to do this thing. What else is going on? Okay, to give you all an update. I remember the last episode, I went ahead and forewent the vegan experiment with eating vegetables, and I returned to eating protein, and the power is returning to my workouts. The strength there now, the power is coming back, but it's coming back in a way that I have to go progressive. I think if anybody's ever been in a protein deficit, it's sort of like the strength is there, except you have to build the power back when you get the protein. And the way you can do that, there is a method you could use, and the method I use is progressive. I'll give you an example. This Friday, I was doing shoulders and back, right? And I was like midway through my workout, and I went to go to the shoulder press, and I was going to do drop sets, right? So start out with the most that I was going to lift, right? Rig the thing up 120, I believe, and then lift the thing halfway, and then bam, dropped it, right? And I laugh, people laugh. I just didn't have the strength at that time. But what you can do is that you can go the other way and build to it in a progressive fashion. So I just started at 60 and worked myself up to 120. So that's something you can do if you're, in the general, right, working progressive. But if you have to regain your strength, you can go progressive in order to build your strength back up to it. I'll explain that a little bit more later on the show. So the strength is coming back. I'd say probably 90% there. A couple more weeks and it'll be like, where I'm not worrying about stuff. It's just not even worry. It's just, concern, I guess. Just what are you not even concerned? Just like mentioning it just isn't there yet. Also, another thing is that, I would say just to mention still, I'm not finishing certain workouts, but it's not as bad as it was with veganism. With veganism, I was seeming every other day I couldn't finish a workout, right? Now it's like maybe the week will go by and I'll have, and finish that I don't like, or I cannot finish the workout, right? And what I'm attributing that to is probably intensity, because my workouts in 2016 have gotten more intense, more organized, and I would say agedness too. I'm just feeling a little bit elderly when you're just, hammering yourself, so, but we'll see. I would say if the thing continues, in the next couple of weeks, right, say the next 9-week period, then it might be worthwhile to just undertrain, figure out some sort of undertraining routine to stick into the workouts that I'm doing now. But other than that, I think everything's going great. Workouts are very organized at this point by the end of May. All right, so I think here's the final portion of the update that I'd like to bring, is that my friend Kazumi Fowler, he had a video called Pet Peeves. So, it was about, he one of his pet peeves he just listed too is that he opens up an LGBT article or something about pertains to gays, right? And the whole article is about trans, right? The difficulties that they're having with this stupid bathroom episode that's going on in our country. And the thing that crosses my mind at that point, watching Kiz's video is hey, we're all on the same team. So, a little solidarity there. But, I guess in honor of his pet peeve video, I like to do a pet peeves of mine. I just thought of two that I have at the gym. I've been going for about 2 years now. And let me see, describe this pet peeve. The first one is that I'm sure, if you go to a gym, you've seen these individuals that, walk in with their earbuds in, looking straight ahead, walk right by you, and they go straight to their machine and, do their 4 or 5 reps, and then they sit there for about 5-minute recovery, with their earbuds or staring at their iPhone, and they're just in their own zone, right? do their 45-minute, 50-minute workout, and get off their cardio or whatever, and walk right by you without looking, straight ahead, and they're done with the gym, right? Well, the thing is that's fine. You can be absolutely locked into your workout, I feel, right? But if you're there like more than 3 times at a gym, and you see a regular, I think you could deign, to come off your high horse and say hello once in a while. So the thing is that, to be honest with you, I don't think it's snobbiness. I think it's more fear, right? It's like, this is the first time they ever seen like a live Sioux Indian, right? And they think I'm going to whip out a tomahawk and smash their skinny head in. It's, you don't have to be afraid of me, dude. I know in our society, our culture, that they do stereotypes, right? If you're LGBT, you know this so well. And the thing is that there's no use to them, so I don't think you can be so fraidy cat. Like in our society, in our culture, I know that, we afford females that, leeway that they can be fraidy cat, but that's fine, and I can understand that. But when it comes from males, that's something that just really irks me. It's like, just the way I look at the gym is like the last place in the world to be fearful. I mean, it's a fun social endeavor that's very worthwhile, right? So that's one pet peeve that I have, that these people that are kind of fraidy cat at the gym. And then, just to be fair, to add balance, is the other one is moodiness, and this is displayed by certain females. I would say not even in the double-digit percentile, but just a few. They're just very moody at the gym, and it's like somebody that goes to the carnival and they're in a bad mood. And this is not like I'm talking on occasion, mind you. I mean, these people are just somehow moody. We have ex-cons at the gym, right? We have law enforcement at the gym, and they get along, right? There's all sorts of ex-cons, right? And we don't, there's not like to judge people or to hold anything against them, but the thing is that attitude. We have, for example, I'm trying, working on my honesty here and my elegance in the delivery. It's sort of like, a girl named Ashley, who's, whatever she did, she paid her dues, she's happy, she's friendly enough, right? Yes, she is a little bit, you can detect somebody that's done time that they have a little bit of, cloisterness, introvertedness, which is fine, you respect it. But, compared to like some of these other girls, they're just, night and day. I mean, some girls go in there and they're not necessarily, what I've noticed, to be honest, is that somehow they're involved in that penitentiary system, albeit law enforcement or ex-con, inmate or convict. It's like they have a real moody attitude, right? And it just, those sort of people, it's sort of like, you always, I would say is, if that's you in the gym, you're always being come to be nice to those people, no matter what, no matter their moodiness, no matter their attitude. I mean, there's just, the gym is a place to grow. It's not a place of doom, and dismalness in my mind. Anyway, those are the two, pet peeves that I have, people that are scared, and then those people that are moody, that it's not going to be a pleasant experience in any way. It's exactly the opposite. It's a very pleasurable experience. Okay, well, that's the update. Well, let me move on, segue to the second portion. It's the types of workout. Okay, let me kind of pace myself here and catch my breath. I just want to discuss like 3 types of, let's say you're an observer, you're sitting in the audience and you're watching people at the gym. These are like 3 types of workouts that you can see. Okay, and you see a fellow come in, he's a stocky fellow, and he maybe does a few stretching routines, right? A few warm up to stretch, and then he starts, pumping iron, like a lot of heavy iron, a lot of weight. He's a power lifter, right? And he's working for strength. He does a certain amount of reps, and then he, sits there and he pulls out like his iPhone or something and types in his information into his spreadsheet, and then he does a recovery. Then he, goes back and does some more reps, progressive or what have you. There's all kinds of wave reps that he's working at. There's all sorts of schemes that you can do, but you can recognize this creature by, he's lifting heavy and he's doing his, building up weight to a 1 rep max, right? he's essentially at a certain point in his workout, you know, maybe not that day or during the workout, but, you know, several days or several weeks down, he's going to test himself with how much he can lift, right? He also has these things called deloading, which I can explain in, you know, another video, because it's a very interesting concept, deloading. Anyway, so these people are weightlifters. They want to move an amount of weight and then increase that amount of weight, you know, from point A to point B, right? So that's the type of workout you can watch there. The length of the workout really is not very long. I'd say maybe an hour to an hour and a half, maybe, depending on how into it, right? And the thing is that it's interesting in some powerlifters that I've noticed, they work on compound movement lifts, right? So that affords them the opportunity to train a lot during the week. I mean, they're not aiming at body parts like a bodybuilder are developing. They are doing compound movements. So get this, guys, those guys can come to the gym 6 times a week, you know, and really, you know, do substantial workouts. It's very interesting, the powerlifter workout. Okay, so we'll leave that there, that you've seen these powerlifters, right? So another workout that you might see, you know, sitting there and watching is the soccer mama workout. You know, these is boys and girls, they show up and they do the boot camp, right? They do some calisthenics, some stretching, and then they end up on the cardio for about 10 minutes, and then they go home. The whole workout's maybe 30, 35 minutes long, and it's just so much. It's like a workout in being, you know. It's just to say the fact that, hey, I go to the gym and I go work out, right? It's just a very nominal workout. And this is a cardio base. It's ostensibly, this workout, the soccer mama workout, is for getting body fat off. You know, it's a civilian workout for shedding body fat, trying to get fit, right? And it's very social in aspect, and it's a lot more, what'd you say, there's a lot more activity, movement than the powerlifter workout, you know, that these people are moving around doing body weight and calisthenics, right? This workout, I would certainly say, it never goes over an hour. And once in a while, once in a blue moon, that I've seen in the soccer mama workout, is that these guys will actually do high intensity interval training. They'll actually do HIIT, but it will just waste them to the core. Man, I mean, it just, these are, you know, the trainers don't like to do HIIT workouts for the soccer mamas because, you know, they ain't going to ever come back again, right? So maybe do like once in a while, at least to introduce them to this idea of high intensity interval training, right? Anyway, so you're sitting there and you watch the girls come in, the girls come out, you know, be they nurses or some sort of admin jobs, right? And then you get to like my workout, right? People that I do, and I'm not the only one. So it's a conditioning workout. It's called the epic workout. And what you notice is like these are people that are always pushing themselves. You know, they're doing a lot of body weight, they're doing a lot of resistance, and these workouts are long. Okay, they are a conditioning workout. It's truly the boot camp. All right, if there was an actual boot camp, it's going to be the conditioning workout. It's like training 2-a-days on a one-man football team or something. I mean, it's just, you know, a grueling workout. I was trying to, you know, I'm trying to put this in that. Who does this sort of grueling workout? You know, me, you know, people that are looking in toughness, and also another creature at the gym, the fitness chicks, right? What is a fitness chick? These are these, you know, ladies that are just into pushing themselves, you know, body weight wise. I'll explain how that works out. But anyway, you know, there's other people besides Bunto doing epic workout at the gym, right? Okay, this goes through how to explain the epic workout. Okay, let me, you know, catch my breath here and give a little pause. I'd like to thank all the viewers that showed up. First is the first thing that you would notice sitting in the audience is the length of the epic workout. All right, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody want to spend that long at the gym, right? You know, obviously, the person would rather be at the gym than someplace else, right? And the workout is not necessarily a social workout where, you know, you see the person there. You know, there is some social aspects, of course, but what you're going to notice is there's a lot of oxygen deficit. There's a lot of pushing. There's a lot of going from one exercise to the next, to the next, to the next, without anywhere near as much recovery as the dude who's doing powerlifting. It's all conditioning, right? In order to attain, you know, a little bit more toughness, right? Why would anybody want to gruel themselves like in a rave, like it's like a dance rave for 4 hours at the gym, activity? Because what that does is it gives you a sort of mental toughness that you can approach strength, right? There's sayings that you'll encounter at the bodybuilding and gym fitness level that, they're hackneyed sayings, but they do have some element of truth. And one is that, if you build for strength, development will come. And the only thing that I take away from that is that at the gym, yeah, they are building for strength. That's like a kind of a thing there. It's sort of like, to understand what I mean, it's sort of like, yes, you can go to the gym and lift light, in order to just develop. But the thing about, there's an underlying to resistance training that they are building for strength. Okay. What I'm trying to say is that when you do the epic workout, that gives you the mental, acuity that you can work towards strength, right? It gives you that attitude and the attitude of not quitting and the mental strength that you can get stronger at the gym, approach, the powerlifting scheme of things, if you wish, right? Also, an important thing about the long workout, the epic workout, is that it is biofeedback based. Okay. I'll give you a contrast. Okay. The powerlifter, does his amount that he wants to do, and he puts it down on a spreadsheet, the reps that he does on a spreadsheet, and he keeps track of them that way, right? So it's a rep based, examination of what he's doing and what he's accomplishing at the gym, right? He can just take a look, at his spreadsheet on his home computer or at his phone or whatever, and measure his metrics that way of what progress he's attaining. But when you're doing the epic workout, it's biofeedback. It's sort of like you have in your mind what your strength level is at and what you can attain. Okay. And to me, that's more conducive towards the creative type. It's sort of like, I was trying to think of a analogy that I might bring to you. And, this might be not such a strong one, but I think it has some applicability. Let's say that a person is painting by the numbers, right? He can come out with a decent painting by the numbers, but then there's also the person that paints by what they see inside their head, right? So in that way, painting by what you see, by what you know, is the epic workout. You're measuring your biofeedback, you're measuring your squeeze, right? You're working to a crescendo of what you want to attain, while the powerlifter, I wouldn't say it's a very hasty workout, but it's a haste base that, you have to accomplish this within 45 minutes, right? So, you have to do that, while the epic workout is more, constructive, additive. So that, my dream here of SkinnyGYM, of offering you this thing, is that you might be a person that you're looking for some sort of workout or something that would make you interested in going to the gym. And maybe this is something that would interest you, that there is a very creative aspect to working out that you can enjoy if you try this at the gym. So there's that mindset of biofeedback, measuring your squeeze, right? What is the method, right? That's the whole cream of the jest here. I mean, I have to supply you with a method that you can take advantage of this. And I'll show you what I've devised so far. Just a moment. Okay. Now, when I looked at this, I was thinking, there's a lot of information here. I will have another show where I can explain to you exactly where my workouts is, but I think I can show you this and explain to you at least an overhead of my thinking behind an epic workout scheme. And the epic workout is not only what you do within that workout, but also the other workouts and how they all go together within a certain weeks. I measure my weeks by what kind of diet I'm going at. The diet is what I week-based, but this is sort of like the actual method of activity that I'll use, for the diet. Okay, for example, we have a 7-day breakdown here: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, let me see here. Now I can explain to you. Okay, Monday is something called legs and hit, right? That's going to be working on my legs and doing high intensity interval training. So this is what they call splits, breaking your work down into splits, body parts. So this is the developing type of approach towards a fitness routine, okay? And it's not only body parts that I've heard, but also methods. Well, what would you say? And also certain types of approaches that you can use to exercise. And this one is legs and HIIT, high intensity interval training, right? And if the first one there, you start with treadmill, a warm up, abductors, adductors, leg extensions and curls. Then I do HIIT with a jump rope and a cross ramp. Now, what the numbers to the what the points that add up, that's just intensity that I can explain it in another workout. How exactly I use the measurement. I only go up to 5, right? 5 being the most intense. But this is just to give you an overview of how to break down a fitness routine, okay? So legs and HIIT on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I do something called arms and chest, right? And that starts with the warm-up bike, hammer bar, right? Chest press, preacher curls, and a super elliptical, right? 16 points. Then I have Wednesday off. Now, okay, I'll explain to you the off and how that works, okay? But let me go on first. So I have Wednesday off, and then thank you. And then I have on Thursday, abs, core, and bottom, right? And the way that works is that's my core, and I work my bottom half, right? And that starts with a treadmill, Roman chair, rowing stairs. That's a routine. And Smith machine, squats, and then a cross ramp. Okay, and that adds up to 15 points. I don't want to confuse. I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm just throwing information at you. Okay, but anyway, so that's Thursday, right? That's a split for Thursday. Friday, I do shoulders and back. So that's warm-up bike, floor bar, long pull with lat pull down, pulley shoulders, and super elliptical, right? Then Saturday, all I do on that day is run around the track some. And then Sunday, I have a Zen workout. And what that means is on Sunday, I just concentrate on stretching, warming up the stretch. And I also touch on things that I felt that didn't go that well during the week. Like, for example, that shoulder press that I told you, I probably tried it on Sunday and, actually did the shoulder drop set press to my satisfaction. So on Sunday, it's not supposed to be a workout. It's just supposed to be like it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be, a Zen relaxation, realizing where you are type body-wise workout, not a split at all. So anyway, that's the way you can break down your workout routine into splits, right? It's developmental. So the thing is that one thing that you'll notice, just looking at it for the for the Epic Rave workout, you're going to say, well, God, it's going to take you 3 hours to do all that and you get done within 45 minutes. That is absolutely true. What happens is that, this is just the basis exercises that you can do that, in the whole scheme of things, I have 5 legs routines. I have 5 HIIT routines. I got 5 arms. I got 6 chests. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, this is just the root, the base of your painting that you do at the gym, and then you add on to whatever colors or whatever you feel you want to cover that day. So the point behind the Epic workout is that you have, bullets in the gun, something that you can do, whenever you need it. Also, there is like a social aspect to the Epic workout that I'd like to bring to your attention, if I may. It's sort of like, everybody wants to have a workout partner. Well, at the gym, everybody mostly wants to have a workout partner, somebody that can push them, right? Because when you have a workout partner, you tend to push yourself, a little harder. So what I do is, I start at 8:30 and I'm working, and then my friend Becca comes in, or Tommy comes in. Somebody will come in, and then, I help them and they help me, right? So you can, work your split in so much that, well, when this person comes in, you can cover stuff in the split while also work their workout. I'll explain that a little bit clearer in another video of like how to accommodate somebody at the gym, so that you can both get gains at it, right? But the beauty of of this workout is that you will learn a set of things that you can do, and that you can, like playing a card game, you can pull that card out, whenever you need it. So that's a kind of fun thing to doing a sort of artsy type fitness workout, that there's plenty of, directions and avenues that you can go in. Okay, let me go ahead and stop working that. I promise you, I will go further in that explanation of how my workout breaks down, so you're not left too confused. Anyway, okay, one thing, let me go back and show you. Oh, I closed that too soon. 1 second. Okay, this is one important takeaway I'd like for you to all notice. It's called the rest and recovery part of the epic workout. And you have to have this, I feel. You have to you can't really pound on your body, for a long duration without proper rest. So you notice, like on Tuesday, it says arms and chest, and it says Wednesday and then Thursday abs core. Okay, this is the way I handle the rest, okay? Tuesday morning, I do arms and chest, right? That's a knockoff by afternoon, right? By noontime, go eat, what have you. So then I have all that afternoon off and that evening off, right, from activity. Then Wednesday, I have that whole 24-hour period off from activity. And then Thursday, abs, core, and bottom, I don't come in the morning for that. I come in the afternoon, right? So then, I have a real, 48-hour rest routine stuck in there, between Tuesday and Thursday. So what I'm trying to impress upon you is that, yes, you can enjoy a big epic workout, but always be mindful of how you approach your rest. And one thing important about your rest, yes, you rest, but go ahead and, try to eat protein after the workout, and then try to carb up just before the next workout, okay? I know that some people don't want you eating carbs, and then some people, yes, the runner, they do want you to eat carbs. But my approach is that, if you're going to be breaking stuff down, then right afterward, spike your glycemic, get some insulin in you, and then eat protein so you can build. And then, that Wednesday, eat normal, take somebody out to whatever you have to do, right? Eat normal. But then, when you're jumping on Thursday, carb up a bit, have a little bit of oatmeal, something that's going to help you get some power, diving into the abs, core, and bottom. That's one thing I like to bring to your attention for the method. Now, right now, let me just talk about the results, okay, that you're going to get. What is the payoff you're going to get from doing long workouts at the gym? Okay, you will get results that you can see in the mirror, right? I've seen, my body improve by looking in the mirror. But really, the gains that I feel I get from doing the epic workout is that I feel like I'm a lot mentally tougher. It's like I'm not, daunted by stuff that would have daunted me before a workout, like pressure, body weight, I don't think I could have done that. I would have been daunted, right? Maybe would have gave up on the gym altogether, right? But when you do the epic workout, it's sort of like all of a sudden that confidence comes where you're like, hey, I can try this, and then you try it until you succeed. What I'm trying to say is that it's a mental toughness type workout. It's a conditioning workout, right? It, first and foremost, it puts into your mind of not quitting, right? That's the whole thing between, the gym is not quitting, You can fit in at the gym given enough time, and enough, things that you can be exposed to. You'll find a niche. It's like a, biosphere or something. You can find some way of fitting into the gym and really getting where you want to go. For SkinnyGYM, just remember that, hey, man, it's a creative thing. Be creative at the gym. Be happy at the gym, meeting people. And if you have, any questions, of course, you have, the trainers at the gym that are there to help you, right? Then you have, the manager of the gym you can talk to. Have other people that work out at gym. You look for your doppelgangers, people that are into it like you are. And then, of course, you have YouTube, which is a fantastic resource that you can go look into for fitness, quick fitness videos on the fly, techniques, looking at how to do proper, dumbbell work routines, anything that jumps to mind. Dumbbells just jump to my mind. And also when you get into it, you can look into books too, Kindle, so forth. Okay. Well, let me leave that part there as far as the epic workout. I think I've addressed some of it. But let me talk about what I came across this week that sort of piqued my interesting in a bunch of ways. It's this video that I put on my feed. It was called "Nutrients Don't Matter" video. It was put out by a source of vegans. It's called Veg Source, and there are a bunch of dietitians and doctors that definitely have a bias towards veganism. I was planning on having another hangout on another show of mine called The Immoralist Escape, talking about a phenomenon called staggering contradictions. And I just thought I'd, give a quick promo of that here. But I mean, when I first saw this video, I got hit with that phenomenon. It was really a staggering contradiction of things that I've learned in these couple of years of looking at fitness, scrutinizing fitness on a very the deepest level of my life, right? Anyway, so just let me give you like the 4 takeaways that I got from this video. And I hope some people from the outside, when I open it to the participants, can come in and comment on this. But the first one that it talked about the potato diet. Anyway, where a person who was, severely overweight ate potatoes for like 100 days and he lost like 60 pounds, right? Nothing but potatoes, right? It was a mono diet, right? So that was the first takeaway that they put in this video, that somehow mono diets are practical. Just eating potatoes, just eating bananas or something, right? That somehow that you can get enough nutrients, correct, from just one source. A doctor saying this, correct? All right. That was the first assertion that they put forth. And then, the one that they have in the video, they coupled this together, and it was interesting, but that superfoods are unnecessary. Like highly nutritious and dense foods, just, you don't need them, right? I mean, this is from a dietitian. They went so far as like talking about nuts, equating like nuts, Brazil nuts or whatever have you, peanuts, on the same level as like Big Macs, right? As far as fatty content and nutritious value. And, okay, I guess a natural food is about the same as that disaster, processed food. So that was a little bit of, I guess I hope you can understand a little bit of staggering contradiction, right? Coming from an authority in the field of nutrition. But here's how, okay, you may ask yourself, how the heck can somebody say that a dietitian could say nutritious food doesn't matter? And then this is their method that they put forth, that there's something called nutrient recycling. Nutrient recycling. Where is this exactly, right? The human body recycles nutrients, right? They mentioned that you can eat protein and then somehow your cells will if it passes one time, they'll go back and use the protein again that it skipped over, right? Recycle the nutrients, right? Now, I don't know exactly the process because they didn't even say so. They just said that it does happen. Nutrient recycling. Okay. So I went ahead and, checked out, the inner tubes, Google and Wiki. Please tell me more about this nutrient recycling. I think it's interesting. And the only thing that I could find about it was actually environmental. The soil, like an ecosphere, has nutrient recycling. I could find no information outside of vegan sources of such a thing called nutrient recycling. And I went so far as like studying on Wiki, the aerobic cellular respiration phenomenon that animals go through, living, kingdom animals go through, not plants, right? And that process is 15 times more effective than what plants go through. I mean, it's a very efficient process. We move around the planet. Plants don't walk around the planet. They spread by growth, but they're not mobile like we are. Anyway, so that was their assertion that there's this process that goes on in the body called nutrient recycling, where you don't need to eat as many nutritious foods to get the same benefit out of it, right? Does that sink into you? You can just get away with eating potatoes. All right, so that was the third takeaway, and this is the fourth takeaway that, to me, this is, the staggering contradiction, that it is not caloric restriction that extends one's lifespan, but it's actually nutrient deprivation. Let me repeat that. It's not caloric restriction that extends your life, but it's that you have a dearth of nutrients. That if you put a stress of nutrients lack of on your body, that your body will respond better, like working at the gym, supposedly. So I thought, well, that's great. Now we can make a new diet, and let's call it the Auschwitz diet. Now, I'm not so blind to say that one cannot see the viewpoint that this is. Okay, how would I categorize this video? I would categorize this video as like a reactionary video. It's sort of like, if you have encountered a vegan, people will bring to their attention that they can't get a proper amino acid profile from merely eating vegetables, B12 deficit. And this is sort of like a reaction video saying, no, guess what, we can. They went so far in the video, and I'd ask you guys to see it in the link of my feed, saying that, hey, you can get your B12 just from eating dirty fruit. I'm not lying. That's the way that the man presented it. Supposedly from the bacteria, that there's enough there. Reactionary videos, right? Yes, it's good that on YouTube you can get these reactionary videos, because on mainstream TV you're not going to get reactionary videos. I mean, you're just going to get one single viewpoint that you can't measure against, right? But on YouTube you can look at sources and study them and see where they're coming from, right? They went so far in the video to say that the vegan diet was superior than our omnivore diet that the majority of humans utilize on this planet. Several staggering contradictions that to me, I find it interesting. It's sort of like somebody can put forth some sort of theological assertion, like the Pope is the fourth head of the Godhead or something like that, and you want to know where is this scripturally, or where does it rate in the theological scale of things. So but the thing is, you can do the same thing with fitness and nutrition. The thing is that there's absolutely a scientific basis that one cannot evade, right? I mean, if it is not scientifically provable or actual, they should suffer for their lies. It's something that you can't apply to religion anyway. They go so far as ducking into some sort of different magisterium altogether. So that to me was an interesting video for what it's worth. I put it out, and some of my friends commented on it that it was just a mishmash. I don't think anybody was necessarily pro that video, but some people did put forward that they thought it was baloney. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and leave our personal show there, and I'll open it up to participants. But I'd like to thank you for watching, and have a Memorial Day. Please bear with me while I invite some folks. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. So I hope you're all barbecuing, having all sorts of fun things to do on Memorial Day, in honor of our veterans who fought in all of America's wars. I was curious to know what you guys think of nutrition. I've had a few nutrition hangouts outside of my own stuff, and fascinated me what people think about veganism, whatever diets, so forth. Let me see. There we go. I hope also too that any questions you have about or routine, go ahead and ask me if you'd like. Sorry, I'm a little scrambled eggs. Okay, just the vampire things that intrigue me about nutrition so far at this point is exactly how you can gain the most out of one's metabolism. Just a sec, please. Okay. I, for one, don't believe that you can strengthen a metabolism, like make it, better than it is right now. I just believe that what you can do with a metabolism is extend it, right? If you gain more muscle mass, there's more metabolism to use for your cells can use more metabolism. But I do think as you age, of course, once you pass, when I've read it was the 30s that you start having a degradation in your metabolism. Now that amount of degradation, the severity you can mitigate depending on your intake and what exactly you do. So the approaches are, of course, that you want to eat a lot cleaner. And hey, how's it going, Pyong?
Epic workout battle! What's up, Big Daddy?
Oh, just talk. Okay, what do you know about metabolism, just off the top of your head?
Well, I have been looking at I think they call it the basal metabolic rate lately.
Yes, the BMR.
The BMR, Big Daddy. Mine happens to be 2188.
Okay.
That's the estimate of it, I guess, based on my age and my height and my weight,
Right.
But I don't know much about it. What do you know about it? Tell me about it. Let me learn.
Well, how about this? Okay, your metabolism, let's say, is a chemical process within your body, and how efficient and how fast it's going, right? Mitigates how exactly you're going to retain fat. Is that clear enough? Like,
yeah.
If you have a fast metabolism, it's harder for fat to adhere to your body. If you have a very slow, sluggish metabolism, then the fat can accrue that way. Your cells are just not as efficient at, I just put the fat over here and we'll just store it on the body instead of, we'll worry about it another day instead of worrying about it today. That's the gist of metabolism.
Gotcha.
Okay. And also, like, have you noticed, like I was telling the viewers earlier, that I don't think that you can strengthen the metabolism. I do believe that you can expand it. Like, the more muscle you get, that's just extra metabolism that you can use. But I stated that I do believe, like, once you pass your 30, that you're on a degradation of your metabolism. Your metabolism is going to start slowing down. But you can mitigate, the speed that it's going to slow down at.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you were going to model it, I guess that would be true. Sure. Trending over time. But at any given point, it is what it is,
Right. Now, of course, there are things that can stop your metabolism cold, like
Death.
alcohol stops the metabolism cold, right? Okay. How concerned are you about keeping your metabolism at a rate, or not so much now as just getting gains from the gym?
I am not concerned about my metabolism at all, because I would say at least 5 days a week, I'm running a 5K.
Right.
So
you have the activity.
Yeah, I've got the activity. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you ever feel like you want to get more optimum by your diet rather than your activity, that you want to say, okay?
That's a great question, and that's exactly why I was looking at the BMR. Because now I might be laboring under a misapprehension, but my thinking is you either build muscle and as a result accumulate fat in your body,
okay,
or you're, like you say, you've used the terms building or cutting or bulking, but I'm sorry, bulking or cutting. And when you're cutting, you're actually in danger of, and in most cases, going to lose a little bit of muscle mass. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm having fun going to the gym and lifting massive amounts of weight, relative to what I've been doing in the past anyway. I would say that my lifting in just pure weight has increased probably 20% over the course of only a month. I mean, it has been extreme,
Good.
And I think it's a lot of fun to do that with some exercises. Some exercises have not increased that dramatically, I should say. Mm-hmm. Like my core exercises, I haven't increased that much. So yeah, right now I am thinking, what do I want to do? Do I want to continue? I do have a little bit. It's. I shouldn't even call it a gut, but it's like a little pad on my abdomen. And I'm slapping it right now. But I'm thinking. Now, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna offer this. Before I break your thought, is like, how I treat the. Okay, well, go ahead with your thought, because I was going to be a big extrapolation. What were we gonna finish with?
Well, I'm. In order to. And it could be that there's some, like I say, I might be laboring under a misapprehension, but I have been consuming a tremendous amount of protein, dairy protein, meat protein, proteins from fish and nuts and things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just a tremendous caloric intake. So much so, because I'm 235 pounds, and in order to take in all that protein, I'm eating a ton of calories. So it's not. If I want to maintain that high protein intake, it's very difficult for me to slash my caloric intake sufficiently where I would start really dropping the weight. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm thinking now. I have a big muscle meathead buddy at the gym named Keith. He's probably 5'2", and he's just he's a gorilla. He's
stalking.
Yeah. But he's got a belly. See, he's got a belly. And a lot of the stuff that he tells me is accurate. Some of it isn't. But what he suggests I do is cut out cardio completely for several months, only doing it. Well, I shouldn't say completely. That's not right. But cut down my cardio to like twice a week for several months and just get big and then take up cardio again.
Okay. Do a big bulk and then do a cut.
Right. And then his idea is, and I think you've said this before, the more muscle mass you have, the more energy you're burning.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. So, but anyway, that's what I'm considering right now. Do I want to just get slim and svelte, or do I want to get monstrous?
Right. Okay. Has this ever crossed your mind that is all muscle equal?
No, it really hasn't crossed my mind. I think my heart muscle is far more important than.
Well, okay. Your heart muscle is a very non-pussy muscle. I mean, that's right. Beating and beating, but there are some muscles that are, if you compare them to other muscles in the body, they are pussy.
Yeah, my rear deltoids are really.
Okay, well, what happens is this. It's sort of like, so you take an activity regime and regimen, and then you also do dieting, right? What happens is, like, your body is shocked, and I would say that the pussy muscle fibers say, "Oh my God, I can't stand this party," a new DJ came in, and they're not serving liquor anymore, and they're putting a high velocity disco dance track. Let's get the heck out of this party, right? So the weaker muscle leaves, right?
Okay.
So, but the thing is, like, other people will come to the party, like more hardier, stronger people that say, hey, this is exactly the party that we want to stick to. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe a mindset of looking. It's like, hey, let's see who really wants to stay at this party. If I'm going to, start working out hard, pushing myself, now as far as like leaning out, yes, if you have a caloric surplus, you're going to, gain a lot of weight, right? The thing is that, okay, there's a certain approach, well, okay, are you looking for development? Or are you looking for strength? Because, you said your friend has a big belly.
Yeah.
He's a strength, not so much development.
Well, I don't know. Development as far as like form, is that what you're talking about?
Like, that guy looks like he's working out. He's looking ripped.
Yeah.
That tummy is looking like a six pack, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's development.
Right. In answer to your question, what am I looking for? See, strength, actually, because it's fun for me to get in there and, see, and just keep lifting more and more weight and seeing the progression. The progression is always a lot of fun. Now, but on the other side of the coin, the looks, the aesthetic development is also a lot of fun. It's nice to get in some new clothes and, hey, I look pretty good in that shit. You know what I mean? Right. But I think strength at this point. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm on the fence. But the nice thing is I can do both. I can just keep going strong for a little while, and then if I want to, go ahead and do what you refer to as a cut. Thankfully, even though I'm taking in a lot of calories because I'm trying to maintain this 235 grams of protein every day, because of my intense activity, I'm not gaining a lot of weight. Matter of fact, I think I'm losing a little bit, just an incy bit.
That's okay. You get your activity down, and then you want to start looking at that diet.
Well, what do you mean looking at the diet? I mean, I am careful with my diet, and I have to be, because I have to get a lot of protein in.
Well, what happens is, like, you get an activity down, that you know is a stressor activity that works for you, right?
Like Twister.
And then you want to make it more, you want to get more gains. So you start looking at your diet and start looking at, like you're doing it, you're looking at protein consumption, but then there's like, well, time for me to dump saturated fats, time for me to start carb cycling. There's all sorts of approaches you could do.
Right. And I have to admit to being a neophyte with regard to some of those dietary strategies. But I'm learning. And the nice thing is I can keep the facet of protein that I've learned that I know is useful, and then incorporate some of these other strategies that you're talking about. Go ahead, buddy.
And also, like, just for the developers, okay, just to give you a mental picture, there are people that look like couch potatoes that can lift far more. They're stronger than a guy who looks like Mr. Olympia. Yeah. So what happens there is that, they are strength, and while this guy's developing, what does he worry about in his development? Really, it's not so much strength, but he worries about muscle stimulus. He's trying to get something called hypertrophy. Okay. Trying to get all of his muscle fibers, saturated with, hopefully natural substances without steroids, but that's what he's trying to do, stimulate instead of annihilate his muscles. Yeah. So that concept might cross your mind as like, hey, let me start working towards the pump rather than, trying to lift as much as I can.
Oh no, what I do is kind of a work to failure pyramid down light. Okay. Are you familiar with this? Hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, light. I don't go ape shit with it. But so for example, what I'll do is I don't go on a machine and like try to do as much as I can and do like 2 of them. You know what I mean? With the exception of bench pressing, which I go through my little circuit, and then I come back at the end and I bench press a substantially heavier weight, just 3 sets of 5. Okay. Yeah, I do that. But so what I'm doing is I will do well, I don't know what you consider high repetitions. I'll do 12 reps, okay, at a weight where you are, and anybody who works with weights will know what I'm talking about, you feel it burning, you know.
Okay, some exertion.
And yeah, it definitely exertion. Absolutely. When I come out of the weight room, I am sweaty. I am sweaty. But I will do that and it burns, okay? And so I'll do 12 of those and then I'll let off. And then I'll reduce the weight by about 10 pounds. By 10 pounds. I always do 10-pound increments. Yeah.
Good.
And then I will do another set of 12 and then I'll reduce the weight by another 10 and I'll do another set of 12. And my time in between sets is one breath, two breaths, and go again. I see these.
A little bit of oxygen deficit. Good.
Yeah, I see these guys. They sit on the fucking machine. They're texting. You know, have you seen the new cat video? LOL. You know, emojis, and then they get up and go get a drink, and then they come back.
that's one of the bane of my. Okay, did you know that your workout is more developmental? So, like, you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, developmental. Whenever you hear drop sets, you think development, that the guy's trying to, you know, stimulate muscles. He's trying to, you know, blast his chest that way, right? Yeah. Which is a good approach. Now, if you're going towards strength, you might want to try progressive, where you start from the lowest and then work your way up. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you say going for strength, like in order to maximize strength, I'm not really interested in that particular target. You have to understand. Then this is why I say it's light as well. It's been working for me. It's working really well. I have like a slender physique on my upper body, you know, with my arms. I like it. I'm not super concerned with becoming like a monster. And I'm honestly not super concerned with like lifting the maximum amount that I can. I'm really doing it. Yeah. I'm really doing it for my health and my mental well-being, and I love the fact that I lost a lot of weight and I look good now. So, you know.
All right.
But I'm with you, baby. I need to know one thing though. What's a drop set?
Okay, a drop set is where you start out with your most that you can lift. You know, that you feel you can lift. Let's say you feel you could lift 120 pounds, and then you work down. You know, you do like a certain number of reps, let's say 10 reps, and then you go, like you say, 10 pounds down, and then 12 reps, and then you go 10 pounds down. But your ultimate goal is where you get to a range where you're like repping to failure, where you really just blast your chest, where you're just feeling the burn. Like you can get all the way down to like 60 pounds, but you're not going to quit until it's like, oh my God, I can't lift this one more rep, you know?
Right.
Maybe like it's like blasting yourself. Now that's just very much developmental. That you want to stimulate, you know, a portion of your body that is just.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Bunto.
I saw the video. I don't know what Tommy's problem was in that hangout. I got there, you know, about 10 minutes before you did.
So you saw the whole you saw what Tommy said, or you heard what Tommy.
Yeah, he was just. Yeah, well, I was going to just say, you know, don't take it to heart. He was just triggered.
I made a video in response, right? Did you see?
Yeah, I know that. Anyway, so that's the drop sets. Now, Pyong, the thing is progressive. Okay, what is, you know, progressive is when you go the other way. Is that you know that, you know, progressive is what it sounds like. It's like you're progressing, right? If you know that you're lifting a little bit more each week, you know, you're on an upward scale.
Oh yeah, well the way I'm not sure if I absolutely follow you, but let me just let you in on how I do it, and then you can comment on it. What I do is I keep a detailed schedule, almost, if you will, a record of my lifting, and so I go and I do my leg presses, okay, and I do them at a particular weight, and if it feels heavy to me, I'll put an H. If it feels middle, you know, I'll put an M. If it's light, if it's really easy for me to do it, I'll do an L. And if I get like 4 or 5 L's in a row, I increase the weight.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's been working for you that way?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's you know, I have worked out before, like when I was in my late 20s. I was at a gym that I really loved, and I did it more intuitively. I just, you know, you don't have to have the little clipboard. You know what your settings are for the machines. I basically do machines almost exclusively, and so you know what your settings are for the machines, and you know how much weight you're going to lift. but you kind of, and what I was doing before is I had an intuitive sense, you know, when am I going to go ahead and increase the amount of weight in a given day or whatever? Was it light before? Am I going to increase it? This way, I have at least a record that I can look back into the past a little bit and see quantitatively, I suppose, or qualitatively, I guess I should say. I can see qualitatively, has it been easy for a long time? And if so, it's, you know, it's probably time to increase the weight. So that's the way I progress.
Okay, how about this? Okay, do you know what leg curls and leg extensions are when you sit down? Okay.
Yes, I do.
So, for example, let's say on leg extensions, you start out like 60 pounds and try to work yourself up to 120. Have you done it that way?
I was doing that initially. When I first started it, I was doing that initially. But now, no. I start at the top weight and then I work down.
Drop setting. Okay.
Right.
I found that I like doing legs progressively. And then upper body, I like doing drop sets because that's developing, right, for dudes, I think.
Okay.
But legs, you know, the thing is that if you get a strong, you know, if you build more muscle fibers in your bottom half, you're going to be throwing off body fat. I mean, that's the biggest muscle in your body is the quads, glutes, your bottom chain. Yeah, sure, you know? Sure.
Now, one thing to keep in mind that is unique, maybe, not unique, but something that I do every time, my exercise regimen, I will go and I'll do the machines, and then right when I'm done with the machines, that's when I go to the treadmill. So even if I work my lower body every other day, I go to the gym almost every day, usually at least 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. I'll work my lower body, I'll work my legs, and then I'll go right to the treadmill, and it drives my buddy Keith absolutely apeshit. He says, "You're running off your muscle."
Right. That's okay. This is something common thinking that's among powerlifter types. You know, they stress strength, and they feel like if you do any sort of cardio that you're going to lose muscle, right? And in fact, some of the people in the bodybuilding also think that's true. But the thing is that these people, the object of the bodybuilding isn't how much you can lift, but how good you look.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to eliminate body fat if you want to look good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You might tell your friend, you know, hey, you have to eliminate body fat if you want to look good.
He's my buddy. I don't contradict him, but I tell you what, one time he said something that I thought, no, that's not right, because I was telling him, I said, I was just joking with him. I told him I thought I had a tapeworm, you know, because I got this little bitty gut, you know, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what to do. It feels like I can't get rid of the thing. And so he was telling me about particular abdominal exercises to do, and I thought, no, dude, you can't get rid of a gut doing crunches, bro. I mean, you could, but you'd be doing cardio work, you know, crunches as cardio work. In order to get rid of that gut, man, you have to burn it off, dude.
Right. Now, you might tell your friends, how many fitness girls do you see doing crunches at the gym? And see what he says. You know how many I see, Pyong? 0.
7. 9. 0. Okay,
because
that was my third guess.
A bikini model does not want to pooch their tummy out.
Yeah.
So they don't work their abs. They do like splits, you know, and they work the body ball.
That's
hot. They do not do crunches. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, the idea of like you can work off your gut doing crunches is...
Yeah, it's not real. I mean...
Well, the thing is, ask, you know, the bikini model or somebody, they'll tell you no way. I mean, that's the person that you're looking at.
Right. Well, see, and you're right, too, because, like, I do my core every day, too. I'll do arms or legs plus core and then cardio every day. So core and cardio I do every day. And my muscles, like, if you felt my abdomen, you'd feel the muscles underneath my skin. Right. Yeah, the flab. Thanks very much for that.
I got it, too. That's the way men are. And you have to know that the body fat leaves the extremities, and so the last thing that's going to go is the tummy flab.
Yeah, well, good. I'm working it then because my arms and legs look killer.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. So, but anyway, I have seen, like what you're saying, like it's kind of, like my abdomen has kind of pushed out, you know? It's bulkier than it was. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's fun. It's lovely. It's lovely. I like it.
Now, okay, your friend likes working, you know, free weights and machines. Does he ever do calisthenics?
No. no, I've never seen him do any of that shit.
Powerlifters don't do calisthenics. What do you think that?
I don't know.
It's because they aim at a certain body part, right? Did you know calisthenics tend to use like a whole set of muscles in your body?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's sort of like they want to aim at the biceps, they want to aim at the triceps, right? But a calisthenic guy, you know, he's working the whole schmear, man. A fitness girl, is working the whole schmear of the body.
Yeah.
They're not aiming at a certain part.
I felt that. Now, I've been kind of busy here the last couple of weeks, so I have tapered off swimming a little bit. But when I go swimming, it's like that. You know,
Working the whole body.
Yeah. I've been doing 15 laps. It takes me about 40 minutes, you know, ish. But I'm not really good at it, so I swim one length of the pool, and then I pant like a dog, and then I turn around and I swim back. But I tell you what. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll ask you an observation, Pyong. Okay, you've seen the body of a swimmer, right? Like Michael Phelps.
Right.
Do you think those guys work out, lift weights?
I don't know. He's got to lift weights, dude.
No, they just swim. I
mean,
they can get that. They can get that body from just swimming.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. It's rough. I mean, yeah,
So
if you do enough.
What a great exercise and what a great toning exercise, bodybuilding. It's just swimming.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. One thing that I did notice, though, because I have swam my entire life, and it was something that I was taught by my very responsible mother at a young age so that I wouldn't drown. And I've done it incrementally or intermittently, I should say, through my entire life. After I've been working out, you know, I am a lot faster swimming. I mean, I can just I do a side. I like doing the side stroke. You know what that is?
Yes.
Super easy. That's my safety stroke. Okay, I could do that for miles. And then so I'll go down on the side stroke. I'll turn around and then I do the crawl. I'm telling you, dude, I haul ass. I look like I'm part dolphin when I'm coming through there, baby.
Okay.
Bam.
So, Gino, just to tell our listeners that there's all sorts of approaches that you can use towards fitness. You know, not necessarily just going to the gym and working the machines, but you can do all sorts of swimming, running, calisthenics. You know, there's some place where you can fit in at the gym if you just give it a chance.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, what was the closest you ever felt quitting the gym?
You know what?
Something?
Okay, I was in my late 20s. I was at a gym that I really loved. I went there all the time. The problem I had was that I had progressed to a point where I was there for like 2 hours and 20 minutes every day. And if I didn't do my whole routine, I didn't feel like I was doing any good. And so that was a kind of a
plateau.
Well, it wasn't a plateau. It just felt like it felt like a rut. I was in a little bit of a rut. I never left that gym though, but for I moved out of the area. I moved to a different town to take a job, and I moved apartments and everything, and so it was no longer practical to stay at the gym that I liked. Went to a different gym, and you know why I quit that fucking gym? First of all, it closed at like 7 p.m. or something. It had these hours that were ridiculous. It opened at 2 and closed at 7.
Useless hours.
Yeah. And then also, they had these fucking tiles in the bathroom, and it was like walking on ice. And I mean, so we'd be in the locker room, and here'd come somebody, zoop, you know what I mean? Here comes the next guy. Zoop. I mean, everybody slipped on these fucking tiles. I'm like, this place sucks. I hate it. So I stopped going there, and then I didn't go for a long time. But I really don't have, at this point, anything that's going to make me quit the gym per se. I don't think so.
Okay, well, some people are like going to the gym for the first time, and they're like 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
You know, they go in Monday at 290, and they quit on Friday because they're only 289. You know, it just didn't happen fast enough. I mean, what would you tell those people? You know, to say, hey, you need to, you know, work. I mean, how would you put it to them to understand?
Well, I would say if I was giving advice to somebody like that, now bear in mind, when I went back in, I was 43 years old. I was 302 pounds, okay? I'm just for reference, I'm 6'3". Now I'm 235. I lost what, a total of, what is that, 67 pounds.
Excellent.
Yeah. But I gained a lot of muscle, and I look fantastic. I feel fantastic. But yeah, like you say, it was long term. But what I did that I think is excellent is I committed to not losing a certain amount of weight every week, or not having a target dress size for, I guess, what ladies would do, or a target waist size for men. I said, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to exert myself for an hour. Real physical exertion, because like you say, you have to put the work in. Real physical exertion for an hour, 6 days out of the week, and that worked for me.
Yeah, that will work.
Yeah, that will work. And then also I made sensible, in my case, everybody's different, but what I did was I went through my diet, the things that were really bad for me, like drinking beer. I still drink beer on the holidays. I didn't drink today, but usually I drink on the holidays. I got rid of pizza, which I ate all the time.
2 double Whoppers at a setting,
Yeah, I no longer eat fast food. Typically, I might eat fast food once a month, once every 2 months, something like that. But it is out of the equation. A lot of fresh fruits, a lot of vegetables. And one thing I'll say about diet. Initially, my philosophy on diet was abundance, not deprivation. These people, if you're not ready for an Atkins type diet, I could probably do the Atkins now because I eat so much goddamn protein. But if you're not ready for an Atkins type diet, don't think in terms of deprivation. Think the type of fruit that you like. Think of the smoothies that you like to drink. Buy yourself a blender. Say, I can have, I can have 2 smoothies a day if I want. Go ahead. I can eat all the kale I want. I like quinoa. You can eat all the quinoa you want. You can have all the vegetables you want. You can have all the baked fish that you want. These are things that I enjoy. And so think in terms of abundance as opposed to deprivation. That's the advice that I would give somebody thinking about going to the gym and maybe suffering from demotivation.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a very good observation. Okay. Let me ask you this about the ambience of a gym, right? You brought up the tiles, right? Suppose you go to the gym and there's like a bunch of people there wearing a Trump 2016 shirts and telling you how terrible it is and destructive it is that a transgender person has to use the bathroom. I mean, would that interfere with your vibe for that gym? Would you flee it?
Well, I would not flee it, but I'd like to think that I'm not such a social retard that I would allow that kind of behavior to continue.
You would voice your.
I would excuse myself. I would excuse myself with sufficient nonverbal communication to make it clear that I did not want to hear his bullshit anymore, and I would go back to what I was doing. But yeah, I have to deal with that kind of stuff too. That is. It's the stupid things people do, the little stupid things people do. Like there was this woman, I was doing my leg routine, and she sat on the leg press machine for at least 20 minutes.
Right.
Texting and all this. What are you going to do? If it,
can I work in, lady? Right.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I did. Once they start texting, I have no problem saying, hey, are you going to be much longer? I'd like to use this machine, which is exactly what I do. And it's usually sufficient. So, I think sometimes even myself, when I'm at the gym and I think how inconsiderate of that individual to do whatever they're doing, I kind of build it up in my head, but it's so easy just to approach them and talk to them and say, I'd like to use this. Is that okay? Can I get in here? That kind of thing.
Okay, well that's a good skill to relate to our listeners. What about? Let me think of other things that come to mind. All right. Okay, you like going to a gym that has 24 hours? Like there's no set hours, or can you work with set hours of a gym?
The gym that I have now does not have set hours. It does have set hours. I'm sorry, and it closes at I think 10 o'clock on the weekdays and 6 on the weekends, and it's fine. Don't have any issues.
Is it a cluttered gym, or is there enough room?
There's plenty of room in it. Yeah, it's a nice. There's plenty of room. the cardio room is got this big cathedral ceiling, and one wall is all windows, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And
Okay.
it looks out onto a wooded area that has a nature trail where people bike and run along it. Very, very nice to sit there and run and look out the windows. And on the interior of the building, of course, with that nice view, you've got the televisions that everybody can watch. So.
Okay, so do you like listening to the gym music or having your own earbuds in?
I'll tell you what, this is something that I could never give up. I am equidistant from two gyms that I have access to right now. Okay, I go to the YMCA. I can go to either one. I only do my cardio at the YMCA or at one of the YMCAs that has Wi-Fi. Because what I do is I purchased a little Asus Memo 7 for $50 on Amazon. I take it up to the gym. I watch my YouTube videos while I'm doing cardio.
Yeah.
And it is a dream. It's a dream. I go over to the other gym and they have apartment complexes all over their free Wi-Fi, so the signal is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
You're back in 1986 with your tape cassette deck strapped to your arm.
Right.
I mean, give me a break. So yeah, absolutely. That's the way I like doing my cardio. I do have a little MP3 player when I'm on the machines, though.
Okay, well, all right. At the gym, that's not the why. Are they trying to sell you something like, hey, supplements, programs?
Oh no, I'm sorry. They're both Ys. They're both YMCAs. Yeah.
Oh, so they're not, selling you something type gyms.
No, they've never tried to sell me anything.
Just to tell our listeners, there are some gyms that as soon as they get their clutches in you, they want to sell you something. And my advice would be, I should have a show on that how to get a gym membership. Treat it like buying a car. Just make them go through their hoops. Let me think. What other things come to mind? Have you ever had some dismal episode at the gym that you like to share? I think I can share one off the bat.
I have never honestly I had one time at my old gym in my late 20s. I was looking good, and there was some decrepit old lich who couldn't deal with the fact that she was getting old and ugly.
Right.
And I had these, I'll admit it, they were inappropriately short, bright red shorts. They were satiny. And she looked at me and said, I can't believe what some people wear, And I just looked at it and I said, lady, come on. You know what I mean? Come on, lady. But and I did not like that. I don't know why, she felt the license to insult somebody over that. But that was it. And then I have at my new gym, see, I came in fat, and fat people are treated poorly. When you get skinny, people treat you differently.
Okay, so you believe in thin privilege. Okay.
Oh, well, I would never call it thin privilege because I think that's no offense, Bunto.
Social justice.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous statement. Or just the connotations associated with that particular phrase are disgusting to me. But I would say that absolutely people will treat fat people worse than they treat you when you're skinny. Absolutely, no question. And some people, in the case of men, now that I'm looking good, and I go on the treadmill or on my 5K every day, some of the guys that, I'm going to participate in hierarchical ordering of comeliness at this point, but some of the guys that were kind of above me at first now are definitely below me.
Okay.
And they'll give me a little attitude. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah. Oh, yeah. There's this one guy. He's short. He's balding. He's got really big muscles, and he's got a cute girlfriend. And I don't have any intentions of hitting on this girlfriend, but I'm polite. And one time I was on the treadmill next to her, and she forgot her phone on the treadmill. So I went and I got her. I didn't touch her phone, but I went and got her and said, you've left your phone on the treadmill. She said, oh, thank you. So we were just chatting as we came back. He did not like that at all. But I think his issues are more with him. He's short, he's balding, probably doesn't have a lot of confidence, that kind of thing. But ever since then, he's been a real dick.
Oh, wow.
But that's
Oh,
it.
well, that's his problem.
Yeah, that's his problem. I don't have an issue with it. So, but anyway, what's your?
I was gonna say
story?
one was really. I might be coming from the other way, or it might not. I remember one time that this girl was upset at me for being so friendly to other girls. You know, and she took pains to tell me. You know, it's sort of like, well, that's just the way I am, right? You know, I didn't want to disclose her. You know, it's neither here nor there my sexuality, right? But it's just being told by somebody else, like, oh, you're just too nice to other girls. You know, and I don't like it. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? It's sort of like what you can do is that you can, kind of impress upon those people. My advice to this is that you're only about the workout. Hey, if I compliment you, it's not because of your looks or anything like that. It's just that, hey, I appreciate, what you're bringing to the gym, working out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
a dismal, experience when somebody starts, what would you say, taking it anywhere outside of the workout.
Yeah. That's a good way to frame it. I don't even think I would go beyond that. I would just say, hey, I'm just here for the workout. That's right. That's exactly right. Because that's why I am there, without exception. So, but like I say, I'm not a social retard. I can handle myself, these little, I guess if I was a social justice where I would say, that's a microaggression.
You're right. I could have brought it up. You're microaggressing me.
Suck it up, you little victim. Yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you for coming to the show, and invite all listeners to any ideas or comments or questions they have. Just please, put them in the chat for the show, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I'd like to wish you all a very happy Memorial Day and enjoy the week. Take care.